So I went out and picked up another device, and it's not a brand new one. It's one that I've had before, but my original one no longer started working because it ended up getting the black screen of death. But the device I'm referring to is the Google Pixel 5a. Now I really like this phone, and so I had to get me another one when I found one for the right price. And it took a while because there wasn't really any for sale on OfferUp. But this is the last of its kind, right? Before Google transitioned over to the Tensor G1, before they brought the camera visor bar, this device was the last to sport a Qualcomm chip, the last with the headphone jack, the last with the selfie cam on the top, the last with the square camera module on the back. But this phone is really awesome, and all the things that it can do for the A series device, and I believe this was the largest of the A series. I have to compare it to the Pixel 3a XL, but I believe that this is, or it's about the same height as the 3a XL, just a little bit more narrower compared to the 3a XL that was a little bit wider. But nonetheless, I mean, it brought in some pretty cool stuff. It was the first to switch up from polycarbonate body casing to a more of like an aluminum metal body. I believe it brought in water and dust resistance with this model. I think so. The IP67 dust and water resistant. But, you know, very solid phone, and I think the one with the best battery life of all the Google Pixel A series. That's one major thing. Another thing that, you know, it was kind of the last at, not really too much, but kind of, is the cameras that it used, which was the Sony IMX363 as the main camera sensor on the back. I think the 6A has it as well, but then after that, that changed up with the 7A. And obviously the 8A when that comes, if Google continues the A series. But this phone is still supported today with Android 14, still has it. It is still smooth for having a Snapdragon 765G, which is the same chip that the Pixel 5 has. And it makes me wonder that when MKBHD stated that the Pixel 5 was originally supposed to have the Tensor G1, but because of world events, shortage of chips and stuff like that, they decided to just throw the 765G and put the Tensor G1 in the Pixel 6. So if the 5 was supposed to have it, what I'm going at with this is, could it have possibly been that the Pixel 5a also would have had the Tensor G1? A little something to think about there. But nonetheless, yeah, it is still solid. And if you can find this phone sub $200, definitely worth picking up. It plays games pretty good. It's got a awesome battery life, I must say. And, you know, it's got its little quirkinesses to it, right? Like the, you know, rugged power button, so you definitely can tell the difference between the power and the volume rockers, but just by feel. It's got a very nice size display. Of course, some people will probably complain that it's not 120 hertz refresh. I really don't care about those types of things. I feel like that, you know, just as long as I can see the display, colors are nice and vibrant. You can switch it up from, you know, adaptive coloring to natural. You have those options to do that. You know, the display to me looks pretty great. The selfie camera housed up at the top left corner. It's not a deal breaker. I don't know why people complain about that. You know, with the new A series model devices, basically having it centered on the top. I find it that it's, you know, refreshing to have it on the left side. You know, it's really just kind of out of the way of the screen and not really just taking up any of that, you know, real estate in the middle. And yeah, it is supported on Android 14, and I believe next year would be its final running for one more version of Android, which would be Android 15. And I think the support will stop there for it, as that would be its 3-year mark, basically, or 3 major software update mark. So all things about the Pixel 5a really, really solid today. And even audio on it is really decent, nice and loud, a little punchy, but not a squawk box. So just keep that in mind. Definitely worth picking up.